actually wanted to tell you a story that happened last week. We had a really scary anxiety fuel experience. We had a fire in our neighborhood. Everything is fine, there was no loss of life, but it was just really scary to go through it. Basically what happened was is that we went to Kandal and we filmed that video that you guys watched last week, and in the morning we actually saw fumes coming out of the forest. But you never really assume the worst. You always think, well, someone's doing a fire, everything's okay, everything's controlled. It did look quite big, but we didn't really think too much of it. Then we come back and the fire is still going. I started to cook. I look out of the window and I tell Omar, that looks like a lot of smoke coming out of the forest, you know? Should we maybe check with somebody? I'm just gonna call. I started to panic really. I'm just gonna call the bombeiros. I'm gonna call the bombeiros. But Omar went straight to the neighbor to ask if that was a fire to be worried about. And the neighbor said, yes, actually, it's quite a big fire. So our neighbor ran to the last house because the fire was closest to them. And then someone ran, like a car comes out of nowhere, and he's like, I'm gonna call the bombeiros, I'm gonna go right there. And that's when I started to call the bombeiros as well, because I thought he's driving, probably he can't call. And so later I know, when I talked to them, yeah, we already know we were on our way. They were about 5 minutes later, which was like an eternity for us at that moment. And someone came to assess, and then later on, we see a lot of people coming, you know, like a lot of people like watching what's going on.
Oh. Okay.
It was a lot of panic actually. It was really scary. Looking at the people's faces, it was the most harrowing, because there was a fire here in 2017 in Pedro Grau Grande, and also very near this area. This area didn't get burned, but the fire did reach, for example, my sister's house, and they had a very traumatic experience, as so did most of the people here. So there is that trauma, that's very recent. So you could see that everyone was taking it incredibly seriously, which it had to, because the fire within 10 minutes grew really quickly.
And there's a lot of forest around, as you can see over there. We're okay, don't worry, but things can change very quickly, so we're just staying put.
And it was just not one fire. All of a sudden it was 3 little, 4 little fires, 5 probably. Because what happens with the eucalyptus leaf, it's that it acts like a boomerang, like a helicopter. So it ignites, it travels, lands somewhere and ignites this new place, and that's how fires have propagated very quickly. And that's what happened last time. So the reaction, like the response from the bombeiros was amazing. The response from the community was amazing. Like I met a lot of our neighbors that day, and people that are from the nearby villages. And so we started like, you need to put water in your place. So I came here and I started to put a lot of water everywhere.
So the bombeiros are there. Sorry, I'm just putting a lot of water everywhere, and it's getting a little bit to the side, but because there could be a change of wind, it's better to just wet everything and then hope for the best.
And I think what really played in our advantage that day was that the wind was going towards the valley, downwards, and there's no houses there, it's just forest. So, but if the wind was coming this direction, everything could have gone a lot worse, because this is where we all live. Yeah, so the bombeiros came. There were so many. There were like 100 bombeiros on shift, like that came. And I don't know if you know, but the bombeiros here in Portugal, it's all voluntary. It's an amazing program they have, and the response was amazing. So if you are a fireman, bombeiros here, obrigado, muito obrigada for your labor. It's amazing what you guys do. You're such heroes here, and the community as well. It was amazing, the response, and there was a helicopter.
No, it's not that one.
And there was these 2 planes that came. Throwing water all over. It was pretty amazing, I have to say. So yeah, this is like the downside of living in the forest, in the countryside, and not looking after people's, neglect maybe, or forgetfulness plays into a part. Accidents happens that way. In a way, the silver lining is now we know what to do, now we know who to call, now we know how the community will respond, and we know how the bombeiros will respond as well. So I think, I hope nothing like this ever happens again, but the likelihood is high. But now we know what to do. Yeah, it was a pretty intense experience last week, I have to say. So today we're going to be taking out the roof in this area, this wing of the property, and we're a little bit nervous about it because it really needs to start. A lot of the walls are moving all over the place. The wall that's right next to our container is probably quite unsafe now, even for us, and then the wall on the other side as well.
How do I do this again? You want me to hold stuff? Oh, I see. Yeah? Go here. Okay. Oh, you just down. Okay, sorry. Oh wow, we're at this side of the house. Is it?
Yeah, fresh fish.
Oh man.
Good
to get some stuff put on underneath your legs.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Colours are amazing.
Some of them are good, Omar. I keep on saying that.
So this one here is not going to be useful because it's all chinked, and with the weather it's going to get even worse. So things like this one, tiles like this ones, are probably just going to be for use as rubble somewhere. Fill gaps somewhere. Yeah, they're useful for. But then we got ones like this one, which is going to be used for something else.
How's that looking?
Yeah, it's not good enough to walk on. Some parts are.
Floor's not good enough to do anything on top of,
Okay.
because the beams that go across this way aren't fixed into the wall anymore. They're just dangling.
Oh, so it's being supported by the.
By the ones in the centre,
Oh wow.
and that's all pretty much.
That one. Can I try this one?
Can I slide some out that way?
Yeah.
Is anything going to get damaged if I
Nope.
No,
Yeah, do you want to take that?
watch the wall down?
this is solid.
Yeah, yeah.
You right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're fine.
This one here, Omar,
That's me.
yeah, I wouldn't necessarily burn that. It looks like it's not too bad.
This one.
Yeah, the end's a bit rotten, but the rest of it's actually a good plank.
You hear that?
Use it to
It's
make
a
something.
good plan.
Is that okay to drop there? Or?
Yeah.
Wow, what's this? It's a thing, a homemade thing.
Hello? What is that?
I don't know. What did they use that for?
What is that?
Something to
Something for scooping something.
scoop something.
Liquid.
I don't know.
That's strange.
Don't throw it away.
Hey, do you want a saw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright? So I'll put them here now.
Yeah, just put them on the floor. Yeah, that's create another back there.
Yeah. Watch where he goes. You don't want to. He's gone over to that other river now. So, well, then back.
Careful, there's a hornet here.
It's a bloody queen.
Fucking crazy, huh?
Yeah,
Where's he gone?
it's gone. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Of course, it was next to you.
Nothing around it.
Yeah.
Today was the first day of spring. Proper spring, you know, the one that you can wear t-shirts outside for the first time during the whole day, or drink some cool drinks and have barbecues. So the aim was to finish early to then enjoy the rest of the day, because life is too short to work long days and don't give it time to appreciate them. But I'm gonna tell you what we're doing over here and this renovation. This swing that we're working on right now is the first step. The tiles are being taken off carefully. Then all the wooden structure is going to be taken off as well. Then the stones will be taken off of the walls, just this wall and this wall. And then the plan is to build them again somehow. We haven't come up with a solid plan just yet, but we're about 90% there. But as soon as we know what we're doing, we're gonna tell you all about it. Oh, by the way, we brought a tool from England. Very exciting. We're just finding things, place for everything. We got some of the smaller tools here. We also have a multi-tool, which is very useful.
Also known as the nibbler.
Yeah. That's how you love naming it like that. Anyway.
Tiki tiki is also in there.
Yeah, tico tico,
Tico
that
tico.
one here. That's how you call it in Portuguese. Anyway, so we just organizing stuff before we start doing anything, because as you can see, we haven't really done a lot. Well,
we've had
you've
to
done
do
a lot of.
Yeah, we've
you-
had to do other things.
You have done a lot of the streaming, which has been really cool, and we've also picked up wood. So it's been like kind of like it's not gonna dry enough for when we need to use it. It's very heavy because it's very wet.
Yeah, it was super fresh, super fresh. But you know, after a week, it does make a big difference.
Yeah, yeah. So we're just getting ready for the next bit and just taking our time. We're just enjoying it, basically a bit too much. But yeah, we're almost there. Don't
We're
worry.
having fun.
Yeah. So this can go over here.
Cool, so I've almost finished all of the strimming, and this is actually the most important thing to do for the prevention of fires, because basically this grass in the summer will go from green to brown, and it's just so flammable as well, and causes the fire to spread very quickly. The flames are approximately twice as high as the grass will be, so that's why it's so important to keep all your grass low. It's a tiring job, I have to say. For our plot of land, it takes me about 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours. I'm sure a professional could do it a little bit quicker, and every time I do it I learn some new things, so yeah, it does help for sure. So yeah, I've just got this little bit to do and I'm looking forward to finishing. I tell you, I'm super tired. I have to put this back on.